What's good? I've done it. I've decided I'm building a platform bed frame with like a little shelf. So I've bought the initial lumber and some screws. My goal is to only have to make 3 Home Depot trips to get this whole thing done. So the first trip was the basic lumber, the framing lumber and screws. The second trip is going to be the plywood, which is also going to be the most expensive trip. And then the third trip is going to be you always need an extra trip to finish a project more than you plan. So I don't actually know what I need, but I know I'll probably need something. That's just how it works. Plywood shit, like $55 a sheet for not even the best grade stuff. I'm gonna get mid-grade stuff, and I'm gonna need 2 sheets of 3/4 inch. And then I'll do a video and I'll show you all the process. But I'm gonna try and build templates around some of these corners and whatnot, because I want to maximize the amount of platform space I have. So it's going to run essentially right into the wall of the van. The framing's not going to. I'll show it all. I'll show the process. But so that's my goal, to maximize platform space. And I'm also going to try and sell that big ass fucking fridge and get a smaller one, because I'm not going to do any platform down here. That's where my passenger seat would be. That's gonna be like my chill space, where I like to just sit cross-legged and just chill, or I'll eat there. I wanna have that little bit of space. I'm gonna stick my new cooler behind me, behind the driver's seat. There's gonna be just a little bit of gap there. It's gonna work out. So my goal is to get that far while I'm dog sitting through Monday. I'm eventually gonna add drawers to the system. I've already got it all designed out, but it's a matter of just, I don't want to try and get it all done by Monday. So I just want to have the framing and platform in, and then I got to figure out my bedding situation. Lots of options, but I'm probably gonna, it's like spring is here, spring cleaning, sort of a new phase in life. I plan on I'm going to be in the van another year, so I'm going to try to make it more comfortable. I've been talking in my last few videos that, like, I've been sleeping on a narrow twin. I'm a big guy, like 215 pounds. I'm not quite 6 foot, I'll be honest. I'm not quite 6 foot, but anyways, this is the first little bit of the video. I'm going to try and make this like a whole video. So it's going to cut out here, and it's going to next show me working. All right, and just giving the van a quick wipe down, spring cleaning, starting the new season off fresh and ready to go. All right, before I get started, I figured I should actually check the floor and how level it is, because if you're not on a level foundation and you start building up, it doesn't work. So let's see how this garage floor, how level it is. So it's not quite level, so I'll need to account for that, but I got a good baseline. All right, check it out. I've got an idea. This is like a frame for the platform. Just a nice simple 45 miter. However, I'm pilot holing it because this is only 2x3 and it's dry and soft, so I want the screws to just go in smoothly and securely, and I just don't have more than 2 hands, so I'm using this to bring these two to a flush level and to keep it tight, so I can then pilot hole it and then impact these in. Let's go ahead and sink them. Okay, so I've got basic frame coming along really nicely. I'm excited about sort of how things are coming together, minus this little issue here. At first I was like, fuck it, let's just cardboard it and shim it. So stick some cardboard under there, but that's not the best. So what I think I'm going to do, it's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm going to take a small notch out of here in the middle. So ideally it will rest on that middle piece and these more level. It's extra work, but it's gonna be worth it. All right, and so that notch I was talking about, it's very, very thin, like about 1/4 of an inch. And it just trying to do like a sawzall or a jigsaw along that edge, it just didn't, it's tough to do those notches. So I just did a bunch of circular saw cuts, and now I've got some various tools that I'm going to just kind of chisel the rest of it away and kind of go from there and see how it goes. Okay, so I got that side going. I'm pretty freaking stoked, fingers crossed, at how this is turning out so far. So I'm gonna have like an initial frame here, and then I've got a runner board back there. And I think I'm gonna do a slightly different style back here. I'm doing like mitered corners and whatnot. Back here, I think, because there's a lot of stuff going on, like different elevations, and it's just wonky. I'm gonna just go right on top of that board and span across. So do something like that instead of getting fancy here. The reason I got fancy here was this right here. This was exactly why I got fancy right here, was I wanted to be able to get as close to this curve here. So that way when my support post comes up, if there's like a little bit of gap between the plywood and where my support post is, that's fine, right? That little bit of space there, that's fine. So I'm getting maximum width available to utilize just by getting these fancy cuts in. And it's working, and I'm stoked, knock on wood. Okay, and then this is just some footage of my butt and me doing what is just called the framing. This isn't necessarily going to look the prettiest, but it definitely is going to function well, and that was my big concern. You see, I got to level out, and I tried to keep it as level and plumb and square as I could, but overall, like I said, it's not going to be pretty. I might be able to make some decorative sort of finishing touches to it. We'll see how that goes, but my goal is to just get the platform on. I've got the framing done. Now I just got to get the platform on. It's been a beautiful day. I got the framing all done. I might go back through and do a little bit more of what I would call blocking, right? I just want to maybe get some more space. And then in here, I'm not too sure. I think it's 3/4 inch plywood, so that should be fine, but we'll see. But I think I'm going to call this video number 1, part 1 of 2 or part 1 of 3, we'll see. Now that the framing's done, the super boring part that I absolutely suck at is creating this cardboard template that I can then trace on the plywood and cut, because at 57 bucks a sheet, I don't want to fuck up my plywood cuts. And that's where this cool tool supposedly is going to help me. So, like, boom, bam, and then it gives me the contour. And then I can transfer that to some cardboard, and I'm just gonna keep kind of patching together a template. Stay tuned for video 2.